guys, welcome back. So Mother's Day is just around the corner, so I've got a really cute and fun Mother's Day card for you guys today. And this card is pretty simple to put together, even though it looks like it has a lot of parts. So before we get started, go ahead and go to my blog at svgnation.com to grab this free SVG template. You're also going to find a link in the video description that will take you directly there, as well as links to the supplies that I'm using in case you want to check any of those out. So once you have that uploaded, go ahead and add it to your canvas. And once you have this in your canvas, the first thing you need to do is go ahead and click on Ungroup. That way you can ungroup these layers so that it can be modified. Where you see these lines, of course, these are your score lines. So let's just go ahead and click right here, and we're going to open this layer right here. Click on that line and go ahead and change that operation to score. And then click right above so that you've got both of these layers selected so that you can attach those together. And we're going to repeat this on this little red heart right here. Just open that up, change that line to score, and then attach those together by clicking right here and then clicking attach. So if you don't have a scoring tool, this is a pretty easy one to fold, not a big deal, just delete those lines instead. And we're going to repeat this on this layer as well. So this includes kind of like the pop-up part. Of course, you can make this without that little heart that pops out. And if so, then you would just get rid of this layer and this heart right here. And you can always write on this card instead if you want to use your pens to write. I do have a whole tutorial on how to do that. So I'm going to leave a link in this video description on writing with your Cricut pens in case you want to customize this a little further. Okay, but if you're going to use this same template like I'm using, go ahead and click right here. And we're going to click on this line right here, and we're going to change that to score. And then we're going to click on this text, and we need to change that to pen because our Cricut is writing on it for us. Now, if you don't want your Cricut to write on it, then just delete this layer. And once you've changed those, make sure you click right here. You need your pen layer, your score layer, and your card layer all selected so that you can attach those together. And that's all that you need to do. I don't recommend resizing this card. It already fits perfectly in a 5x7 envelope. And this is also a great project for using a lot of your scrap paper. So if you have a lot of little scrap pieces, that's great for all these little flower shapes. So make sure to grab those. All right, so let's go ahead and connect our Cricut so that we can cut everything out. All right, so when your Cricut prompts you to add your scoring tool, go ahead and add that. I'm using the Explorer version, so I'm using a scoring stylus. If you have a maker, you're going to add your wheel. And whenever your Cricut scores, it's automatically going to go ahead and cut everything out. If it's also writing, it's going to stop after it scores. It's going to ask you to insert your pen, so go ahead and insert that. And then press the little flashing button, and it'll automatically start writing. And then it's automatically going to cut after it writes. So there's no need to really do anything until it's finished. All right, so now that we have everything cut out, we're going to go ahead and assemble it. And we are going to start by folding on that score line right there. And we're just going to press that down to get a good fold. Now we're going to go ahead and assemble the front. And we're going to first start with this bottom piece right here. So just line that up. And it is symmetrical, so it should line up either way. But I still like to line it up anyway, just to make sure. We're going to add glue. And just place that down. And you should have this little border going around it. You won't have it on this side where the card folds, and that's okay. It's supposed to be that way. So it just hangs off just a little bit. Let's press that down. Okay, and then next we're going to add our leaf layer. And so this should line up right on top of this. And then you're just going to slide it over to where you have like a nice border around all of it so it's about even. And again, this side is going to line up right with the edge. You're not really going to have that border because of where the card fold is. So let's just flip that over and add our glue. Okay, once you got that covered in glue, go ahead and place that down where you had it. And I like to make sure that these are all the way on the edge so that they do have somewhere to press down and get glued to. They're just not going to have that border around it. And these two pieces are supposed to slightly go over this, so that's okay. And we're just going to press that down. So So for the next layer, you want to use your yellow or whatever color you cut out for this piece. And this is the one that has like the tulip and the 2 flowers with it. So we're just going to line that up. That way we know which side to add the glue to. And then we can add our glue. And then go ahead and glue that down. You want to line up those tulip pieces with the green, and then make sure this lines up right here where it rolls over the vase, and then everything else should just fall right in place where it should go. Then we're going to layer the white right on top. So I'm just going to line that up. That way we know where to add our glue for which side. And when you have that in place, go ahead and press that down really well. Oh, it slid a little bit. Alright, so next I'm just going to add my tulip. And as you see, this tulip does have like cutouts. So you're just going to kind of place that right there around where it has that cutout. It's going to line up right here, and it's going to line up with that bottom flower. It's just a little bit like a puzzle piece. So it should fit right in there. Alright, so next we have these little flowers. So 2 of these flowers are larger than the others. So if you kind of see, that yellow is a little bit smaller. So put your 2 larger ones on one side and the 3 smaller on the other. The 3 smaller are going to go up top. And it really doesn't matter which order. You can just kind of put them where you want. And these are symmetrical, so it doesn't matter which way they go. Just make sure that you line it up with the green underneath. And when you glue these are going like over the flowers. Where they overlap, it's fine. They're supposed to overlap over those flowers. And then we have our last one for the top part. And then we're going to go ahead and add the 2 larger ones to the bottom. And these, again, these are going to overlap, so it should go over the vase a little bit and over the flowers a little bit. And then this last one will overlap some more. So just kind of place that down. We're just going to roll this out, smooth it out really well. And then there are these little middle dots that you can add to the middles. 2 are larger, so those are for the bottom ones. I think it's easiest just to put the glue on the flower and then kind of drop that circle on top. You can also use like rhinestones for this. I did for a different card for this, and that looks just as cute, so it's completely up to you. I'm just going to place those little circles right on top. And I'm going to wait to add the bow to the front because I want this to kind of stay flat for adding the middle part down. Okay, so now we're going to grab our middle part. And so for this middle part, what you're going to do is you're going to fold in half right here. And as you fold in half here, you need to fold this one forward. So just kind of pull this one up and fold it in half. And as you do that, you want to kind of fold these going that way. So you should be able to close it and press down on it. And when you do that, you should have this open part right here. And you can kind of see where we're going with this. So next we're going to glue the heart down. And this one has like a little score line down the middle as well. So just kind of fold on that. And we're going to add glue to it. And you can write on this heart. This would be a cute place to write, "I love you, Mom," or something sweet about Mom. Cute way to personalize the card a little more. So let's just go ahead and smooth this down. And you want to make sure it still folds out with both of those on there. And so if you kind of fold it in half like this and use that brayer, you'll make sure you have a really good fold so it pops out and closes really easily in your card. And so next we're actually just going to glue this downward on top. And you can leave this whole layer out if you don't want to have like the 2 layers. And I mean, this is super cute for a card as well. And you can just switch this writing to this inside or write your own message too. I actually have a whole tutorial on writing with Cricut pens, so I'm going to link to that for you guys in case you want to add your own message. But it's super easy to delete that out if you don't want it. Alright, so I got glue on one side, so I'm just going to layer this right in the center on those score lines and then line that up perfectly and glue this half down. I'm going to go ahead and add glue to this side so we can finish gluing this down. And this card, it is sized to fit in a 5x7 envelope. And if you don't already have one of those on hand, I do have a template, a couple different 5x7 envelope templates. So I'm going to link to that in the video description for you guys as well, in case you want to grab those templates. And now we're just going to place this down. And everything should line up perfectly. So you shouldn't see anything hanging off the edges or anything. It should line right up. And you know, I love to get like a nice good press. That really helps flatten the pieces together. So I'm going to use my brayer. You can tell I use it for a lot of Cricut crafts. I get a lot of glue all over it. Not very clean anymore. So now we can just press that down, and you can even smooth some more out if you really want this nice and smooth instead of trying to pop open. Just smooth it down some more. And then when you open it, you have a cute little surprise. Oh, I kind of can smooth that a little bit. Okay. Alright, so now I'm just going to add the bow to the front. Alright, so we got our bow pieces. I'll start by adding this down here. So this is going to line up exactly where it needs to go. So once it lines up perfectly, that's where you know where you need to glue it. Just add some glue. Now if you're using a glitter paper for your bow, I recommend using hot glue to assemble it, because regular glue doesn't work that well when you glue like glitter piece on top of glitter piece like you'll be doing with a bow. But I'm just using regular paper this time. So I'm just adding a little bit of glue right there to the middle, and I'm just going to press both sides to meet in the middle. So we're just wrapping them around. And I'm just going to hold that. If you're using regular glue, you will have to hold it for a second so it takes hold really well. You can kind of smooth those corners out. Alright, and then we're going to wrap this little rectangle piece around. So I'm just going to add some more glue. And place that there. Give it a second to take hold, and then wrap it around, kind of holding it down, wrap it around. And I'm going to put a little more glue under there and some glue on top. We're going to press that down and press the other end into it. And again, just sit there and squeeze and hold for about 10-15 seconds to make sure it stays really well. Now we're going to glue this piece right on top. And this is going to line up right there with that blue part that sticks out. So that's going to cover that part and line up. And then we're just going to glue this bow right on top. I like to put a little bit of glue kind of down the bow just to make sure it holds really well and doesn't go anywhere. We're just going to press this on and hold it down. And then that's all it is to making this cute little card. So it looks a lot more difficult to make than it is, but it's actually really easy. But if you guys do have any questions, make sure you ask those in the comments. I always check those and I'll answer them there for you guys. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. That really helps a lot for me to grow so I can keep making these videos. And you guys, thanks so much for watching, and I hope all you mothers out there have a great Mother's Day. Bye!